Welcome to day 9 of the 12 days of master classes presented by Talk to Trisha. Today, we're practicing creativity. I'm your presenter for today, Trisha Coleman. Hello. And today we're going to discuss what is creativity, the benefits of creativity, understanding creativity, practicing creativity. I'm going to go over in some great detail some creativity exercises you can take. It's other things you can do besides just brainstorming ideas, and creative businesses, well, creative industries. So, what is creativity? Creativity is the use of imagination or original ideas to create something new or create something. Okay, so this is a great TED Talk by Julie Bernstein, 4 Lessons in Creativity. And the 4 lessons is paying attention to the world around us, learn from parts of our lives that are most difficult, or parts of life that are most difficult, pushing up against the limits of what you can do and what you can't do, and embracing loss. So if you find the time, you're looking at TED Talks, make sure you listen to 4 Lessons in Creativity. I thought this was a great graphic. It says creativity now is as important in education as literacy, and we should treat it with the same status. This slide before, it was saying like creativity is important to every profession, whether you're a scientist, you're a teacher, an entrepreneur. Creativity is important to everyone. So creativity is multidisciplinary. Creativity allows you to express yourself. Creativity promotes thinking and problem solving, helping you think outside the box, in the box, beside the box. Creativity reduces stress and anxiety. Creativity allows you to enter your happy zone and have fun. Creativity gives you a sense of purpose. It leads to feelings of accomplishment and pride. It can link you to others with the same passion. It can improve your ability to focus. It can promote risk taking and iteration. It's a prerequisite for innovation. And creativity encourages us to be lifelong learners. So, fun fact, and I didn't include it in this slide, but Apple is no longer the number one innovative company. It's Google. It's weird. Google also has another company. It goes by, I think, Alphabet. Y'all have to Google it to find out what's Google's other name. So how do people benefit from creativity? Being creative gives us opportunities to try out new ideas and new ways of thinking and problem solving. Gives us freedom, self-awareness and expression, faith and confidence in our instincts. It, relieves stress, and like I said in the slide before, um, problem solving. So practicing creativity. I'm gonna slow down a little bit because I feel like I'm rushing through the slides. Creativity allows you to be yourself. It can be grand and inspiring, and the sky's the limit when you think creatively. Life requires daily acts of ingenuity and novel workarounds. So the elements of creativity: curiosity, thinking independently, sharpening your skills, embracing uncertainty, balancing logic and imagination, balancing your body and mind. We talked about that yesterday, and making new connections. Everything you can imagine is real. Another way to say it: whatever you think, it is so. It is whatever you think, it is already what you say it is. And that quote, "Everything you can imagine is real," it's by Pablo Picasso. So our question for today's questions for today's masterclass: what inspires you? And do you put what you imagine into action? So on our Instagram page, if you follow us, if not, follow us. On our Facebook page, like us. And also on Twitter, you can follow me, Yantrisha Coleman, on Twitter, and put what inspires you. And then if you put what you imagine into action, if you do not, what are you going to start doing in 2020 to put what you imagine into action? And I have to do the spiel because I forgot in the beginning. Subscribe to our YouTube page, share this video, click the bell notification so you are aware of when we upload more videos. So 7 steps of creative thinking. So this is another TED Talk that is worth watching. The speaker, his 7 steps: notice the problem or have an idea or question. Then you enter into step 2, which is the research stage. And then step 3 is basta time. Step 4 is distraction. Step 5 is the eureka moment. 6 is making. And 7 is testing the prototype. And so I am going to read this article really quickly that breaks it down. This TED Talk video begins with the author's experience of recovery after a car accident. The eureka moment hit him and gave him an idea of how to train his once lost speaking ability. It also produced his idea about the 7 steps of creative thinking. The author divided the creative process into 7 steps. The first step is merely to notice a problem or have an idea or a question. Second step is the research stage. Once you gather information from the world that might be related to the topic in the first stage. Step 3 is what the author calls basta time, from the Italian word meaning enough. It's time to stop gathering ideas. The fourth stage is distraction. In this stage, one should think of something totally irrelevant to the original topic and try to connect the two. The fifth step is the eureka moment. It's the moment that people are familiar with when once hit by inspiration, though this event can easily be ignored or underrated. Making is the 6th step. No matter how creative the idea is, it is no use without being put into practice. The last step is testing the prototype and accepting the criticism and comment that the world gives it. And although the steps are listed in order, the procedure may not always follow the same sequence. For example, if someone has an idea popping into his head, he might go directly to the 5th stage. The steps are for instruction and point to what may happen in the creative thinking process. That was a tongue tie. I'm going to put this one up for our creative exercises. But what I'm going to do is go back to our PowerPoint. I'm going to learn how to do this better. More seamlessly. All right, so creative practices. Tap into your inner self. Look for ways to be more playful and to make your task more fun. Spend time outside. Being in natural settings taps into all 5 senses. It energizes your body and stimulates your imagination. Write freely. So it's called free writing, and you take 10 minutes to jot down everything that comes to mind. Some more practices: renew an old hobby. Dig out your old guitar. If you like scrapbook, start back scrapbooking. That's something I think I'm gonna have to start doing, because I have a scrapbook from when I was in middle school and I kept it till I started college. So I have like pictures of me when I was little and pictures of me in middle school and like cards people gave me, awards that I won, certificates that I have, that I earned, and then I just stopped. So I need to dig that back out because I have three little girls now. Well, a teenager and two little girls. And so I need to start back scrapbooking and keeping all their uh, great stuff, especially my oldest. Like she has so many awards and so much. And we used to have them framed, but could buy a scrapbook and scrapbook all her stuff and all the photos that I've taken. Like now we have our phones. And so I have like literally, I probably have about 10,000 photos of my little ones. But I, yeah, it'd be something neat, that they can look on when they get older, or when I'm no longer on this earth, they can look back and say, my mother kept everything. So try more of the art. So visit art galleries, visit museums, go to concerts in the theater. Just expose yourself to more of the performing arts and just the artistic culture. Bleh. Read biography. So study the lives of musicians, dancers, politicians, business leaders, artists, scientists. You can get inspiration from anyone's life. Like, um, it's not a biography, but Eddie Murphy made his comeback, and he did Dolomite Is My Name on Netflix. And I did not expect it to be as inspiring as it was. His story is incredibly inspiring. It also, like, that kind of helped me to start doing the 12 days and all the different challenges and stuff that Talk to Tricia does. And we're going to start doing more like web series. And so, like, knowing that he carved this niche for himself, and that, like, as Hollywood was, or as the movie industry was, he would have never broke through. Like, nobody would ever cast him as a leading man. So he produced his own movie and started his own lane. And so that's so inspiring. uh, Listening to music stimulates the part of our brain that controls motor actions, emotions, and creativity. So in the beginning, I had my little Rhythm Nation playing, and like I am always listening to music, um, and it really does stimulate me. It motivates me, and and music is very healing for myself. Free association. Open the dictionary, or you can Google dictionary. Or if you're reading an article and you see a word that you've never noticed before, write it down, everything it makes you think of. So if you follow us on Instagram or on Facebook, you'll see every day this month we have been posting just a random word and saying, like, what does this word make you think of? How does this word inspire you? uh, just something to make you free associate with the word, and start a new hobby. So if you don't journal, start journaling. Record your dreams. I'm always having crazy dreams. Try your hand at writing stories. My oldest daughter writes short stories like all the time. Like, that's all she does. Like, anytime you see her on her phone, she's writing a short story. Like, she's not texting anybody. She's not surfing the internet. She's not on any type of social media. She's writing a short story. Or if you're a poet at heart, you can write poems. So this quote I love. This is, creativity is inventing, experimenting, growing, taking risks, breaking rules, making mistakes, and having fun. And that's by Mary Lou Cook. So I'm going to go back to the article about the creative exercises. All right. All right. So, storyboarding. If you're trying to design a process, storyboarding can help you see where your collective understanding of a problem supports or conflicts with the proposed solution, and where more thought research is needed. Uh, by developing a visual story to explore the problem at hand as a narrative, you or your team will be able to see how ideas interact and connect to form a solution. So it's a sticky notes on your friends. Take a few moments to have everyone write out their ideas as individual notes. They don't have to be complete thoughts. Physically pinning up quotes, pictures, user information, and the like can help you see new relationships between different components. Once you have a group of sticky notes to work from, start arranging them on the board as a progression. First this, then that. Organizing your ideas as a continuous series will help you see new connections and eliminate extraneous material that doesn't support your end goal. I apologize. My kids are on 45 today. They are just 8, so they're just like energy is sky like to the moon. Mind mapping. Mind mapping is fairly common term now. In fact, there's many mind mapping templates, software that you can use to better organize your data. To create a mind map for creativity purposes, write down the task or problem you're trying to solve at the center of your idea. Feel free to do this on your computer, but whiteboards are ideal. Then expand on this problem by surrounding it with terms that better describe what you need. If your problem is low website traffic, for example, some terms to write around this phrase might be organic traffic, SEO, video strategy, etc. Once your mind map has its first layer, add a second layer to each of your needs, describing how you might be able to solve for these individual challenges. Keep adding to the mind map using the steps above until you sufficiently broken down your problems in manageable parts. Let me slow down. It's a fantastic problem solving technique that fosters creative answers to subjects that might otherwise seem uninspiring. My mouth was like real juicy today. Group sketching. You don't have to be an artist or designer to benefit from sketching. Visual thinking can help to trigger and develop ideas that discussion and writing might otherwise leave unturned. And that is so true because I'm a visual learner. I'm a visual brainstormer too. Like I have to write down stuff. Sometimes I'll draw like how I see something going, how I think something should be grouped together. Yeah, visual thinking is incredibly helpful, especially if that's the way you learn. Similar to brainwriting, group sketching involves participants building on each other's ideas. Each member will sketch an image related in a central way to a concept, idea, or topic you want to explore further. Each sketch is then passed to someone else who sketches another related image on the same piece of paper. This is reported multiple times around the group. The final images are then reviewed and discussed with the aim of discovering connections that individuals hadn't spotted on their own. Word banking. If you assume word banking is a fancy term for word association, well, you're right. But in a word banking session, what you do with the words you come with is much more sophisticated. While word associations often focus on pairing pairs of words, word banking asks you to form big groups of terms that all describe just a few themes or topics. Creating word banks in a business setting can help you dismantle a project into manageable parts, kind of like a mind map. Then, when your word bank is complete, you can retroactively form connections between the terms you came up with and use those connections to craft ideas that are guaranteed to include all of your most important characteristics. Scamper. Scamper is a process for expanding and improving upon ideas by testing and questioning them from different angles. For each letter of the mnemonic, ask yourself a related question about your project or the problem at hand. So, substitute. So, the S stands for substitute. What would happen to the project if we swap X for Y? Combine. What would happen to the project if we combine X and Y? Adapt. What changes would need to be made to adapt this project to a different context? Modify. What could we modify to create more value on this project? Put to another use. What other uses or applications might this project have? So that's part of modify. Oh, P. No, P is put to another use. Okay, that's weird. What other uses or applications might this project have? Eliminate. That's what the E in Scamper stands for. What could we remove from this project to simplify it? And then R is reverse. How could we reorganize this project to make it more effective? This method forces you to approach your project or problem in unexpected ways. Each question asks you to dig a little deeper into the issue and consider new possibilities. I'm actually going to try Scamper. Everything that I'm doing, I'm gonna start using Scamper. I can honestly say I've never tried that. The rest of these that they've listed, I've tried in some type of way, and I've even like um, done workshops, or not workshops, but like business meetups on several of these topics. But I've never used Scamper, so that's another tool in the arsenal to help make us all better and make your business ventures better as well. SWOT. So we know SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It says, and when launching a company is your textbook starting point. When a company's while a company's founder might use SWOT analysis to create his or her business model, brainstormers can use the same diagram to better organize their ideas. So it starts off saying entrepreneurs and businesses know exactly what SWOT is, but it's also a helpful brainstorming tool. So I'll read the rest of this so that in case you have not heard of SWOT, you have a better idea. So it says your SWOT analysis doesn't have to be all that complicated when brainstorming. In fact, it can simply be 4 columns on a whiteboard during your average shout it out ideas meeting. When thinking of a new logo design, for instance, ask yourself what you like most about the current logo. So that'll be your strengths. What you dislike about it, that's the weaknesses. What should it have more of? Opportunities. What other company logo should you be mindful of? Threats. So you will like have a 4 boxes, and you put strengths in one box, weaknesses in the second box, opportunities and threats. Or you could do it like side by side. So 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, and then strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So strengths, you could say like, what's our strengths? We have our product is the best tasting. Weaknesses, it takes a long time to make. Uh, we don't have the capacity. We have low capacity. More opportunities, like you could sell to other businesses so they can sell to their customers. That way you don't have to keep up with the demand of like people being out the line at your business. And then threats, like other companies that do the same thing, or they might can partner with your competitors. That's a threat. Or somebody replicating your recipes and selling it. So that's a threat. So just something else for you to think of. Business side, if if you're using these master classes for business, and then if it's just for your ideas for work or ideas for organization or for your personal life, then you can use the example that this article uses. 6 thinking hacks. I've actually tried to teach this. I felt miserably, even though I understand this idea. Well, whatever. It was like a decade ago, so I've grown a whole lot. This particular tool was invented by Edward De Bono, a psychologist, author, and consultant who pioneered the technique In his 1985 book, Six Thinking Hats, the method involves breaking down ideas into 6 areas of thought. So you have blue hat is logic, focus focuses on the facts. Yellow hat is optimism, focuses on the value and the benefits. Black hat is devil's advocate, focuses on difficulties and dangers. Red hat is emotion, focuses on feelings and intuitions. Green hat is creativity. He focuses on possibilities and new ideas. And the purple hat is management. And the focus is making sure the rules of the hats are observed. So make sure everybody stays in their lane. So when approaching a new problem or project, each member puts on one of these different hats for the discussion. Each hat represents a unique set of priorities and perspectives that will help focus your discussion and consider the project from a wide variety of angles. So they give you an example. If you're wearing the devil's advocate hat, it's your job to consider the project's limitations and challenges. It may feel uncomfortable at first to temporarily adopt a very narrow form of thinking, but extremes can help teams fully explore a project or idea. And that's very important that you fully explore your ideas. And so you can, like, say if it's something that a project you're working on, like, enlist family and friends and say, hey, I want you to do this exercise with me. And this is your hat, or you can put colors in a bag, let them pull, or have them on an index card, face down, let them pick a card. And then you say, okay, this is your role. I would suggest you always take the manager's role so that you make sure that you're getting everybody's perspective, because you know how you feel about your idea, you know how you feel about your project, you know what the vision is. So you want to get other people's knowledge and their perspectives, uh, their weigh in, also their buy-in. Sorry about that, my computer is about to die on me. And so you can fully explore your project or idea. Zero draft. This is an ideation technique for individuals. It's often used by writers, and it's a form of free writing. For marketers and agency professionals, it can help focus the first stage of a new project by establishing what you currently know and getting your initial ideas out of your brain onto paper. And you don't have to look at it as for marketers and agency professionals. This is just a website for marketers and agency professionals. So that's why they're stating them out. That's why it's targeted towards them. It's written for them, but it can help everybody. So I just should have said it can help focus the first stages of a new project. Take your central idea and theme, write down everything you currently know about the subject, write down what you need or want to know about the subject but don't currently know. Reflect on why the subject is important. Add anything else that takes your fancy. This is a chance to get whatever's floating around in your head out into the world. And the zero draft method is all about getting everything you can think of relating to your topic down on paper. So don't be concerned if it looks messy and unfocused. The goal is just to get past the initial block that often plagues creative professionals in the early stages of a new project. Brain netting. Let me see how many more we have of these. I think it's 15, is it? Yeah, it's 15. I'm going to go over a few more and then y'all see the website. You can read on your own time, but I want to keep moving forward. Creative exercises and ideas meetings always go better the more people you have in the room. Unfortunately, this means remote employees might not be solicited for the input as much as they should be. So this is a way to connect people electronically. It doesn't have to be a group phone call. It can be a messaging platform. It can be Zoom like we're on. But as I did a submitted, each chat room member can even vote for their favorites and combine the best qualities of multiple concepts. And this can be even if it's not a professional setting. Say, like how I said with the 6 hats, and listing your family and friends. Most of my family lives in other states. And so it's virtually impossible to get them all in a room together or all in town at the same time. So you could do a Zoom like this or somewhere where people can um, we can all message each other and they can give their ideas and then everybody can vote. And then like stuff like this, you can see each other. Questioning assumptions. We all carry assumptions with us. Assumptions about what is and isn't possible, about what people want, what will work, and what won't. This exercise forces us to challenge these and put everything on the table. So draw a list of all assumptions you can think of about your project, true or not, and discuss the list as a group, questioning each one. Doing this at various stages in your campaign development can spark fresh ideas as well as identify gaps. I'm gonna stop here. We got 5 more. We got wishing, alter egos, heroes, forced connections, reverse brainstorming, and brain writing. So y'all can read that on your own. We'll go ahead and start wrapping this up. All right. Creative industries. So these are um, businesses that are focused on creativity or creative people. Uh, you have art, performance art, crafts, music, film, and entertainment, advertising and promotion, design, fashion, culture, publishing and media, and games. There's a lot more, but those are the most prevalent creative industries. How to build a successful business as an artist. This was the title of an article, but this is for any business. It should just say how to build a successful business. So start with your why, not your how. Make a plan. Don't be afraid to talk to people. I guess they said artists. A lot of artists are introverts, and they express themselves through their art. Be a problem solver and let your creativity lead. And so, our food for thought: you can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. That was by Dr. Maya Angelou. I love that. So I'm going to wrap up and end with that. I'm not going to read anymore, but I'm just going to tell y'all, join us again for day 10. We got 3 more days. So day 10, 11, and 12, and then we're done. So I'm going to say we're 3/4 done. Is that right? We got 3 more days. So join us for day 10, and I will see you later. Bye. Maybe I should end with Rhythm Nation. Let's do that. Hi, everybody.